All right, setup for Substack is now complete. Camera B over on TikTok is now live as well. Just waiting for the final minute to get started on today's show. Just be starting in another half a minute. Hang tight. Hey guys, welcome. Thank you for joining me over on TikTok and on Substack. Really appreciate you showing up for tonight's show. I am MK Schultz, horror sci-fi author, and this is episode 32 of The Dream is True, every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm so glad you were able to stop by for today's show. We've got a jam-packed show as usual. There is a lot to cover and some cool stuff that happened last week. I can't wait to share with all of you today. And we begin each show, like we always do, with the fruit pyramid. So the fruit pyramid, it's also framed above my head, and yes, thank you for joining me. All right. So yeah, the dream's first breath. The image above is called the fruit pyramid. And this is how I summoned the universe to guide me to my destiny of becoming an author. Wielding the fruit pyramid is a call for help when you are unaware of what kind of help it is that you need. For me, the call was answered by a powerful realization that suddenly manifested into reality when I finally found the mysterious dream that had been hidden from my true self for my whole life. I found my purpose to be a writer. Join me for more about the fruit pyramid and other behind-the-scenes bits from my writing journey right here every week on The Dream is True, Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Thanks to everyone over on TikTok for all the gifts. I super appreciate that. Over on my Substack channel is where you will get the full experience with the widescreen and the background music and the images. But over on TikTok, you'll still be able to see me and hear me. Thanks again for joining. Please like, follow, and forward if you are into this. It really supports and helps me continue doing what I love to do. So that's the fruit pyramid, and now on to a little bit about my newsletter and my live show and my podcast. All of them are called The Dream is True. It's super cool because basically the show is live every week until about 8:15. But it starts with my newsletter the day before. So the newsletter, The Dream is True, is posted on my Substack every Wednesday. And then the following day, today, is the live show, which is based on everything that was covered in the newsletter. the cool part is that after the live show is completed, then it gets automatically uploaded as a podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, YouTube Podcasts, and Pocket Casts. And the video is also posted. The full video is on YouTube and my Substack. And yeah, really super cool. Really thank and appreciate everyone for tuning in on all of these different platforms. I've been getting a trickle-in effect from people that have been taking in The Dream is True on various ways. So that's kind of exciting for me to experience and see. And that is my newsletter, live show, and podcast. All right. So I am MK Schultz, horror sci-fi author. This is The Dream is True. This is episode 32. We are now heading into the final 5. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah. After this episode, there are 4 more episodes, which will be the conclusion of season 1 of The Dream is True. So I've got quite the lineup of guests, of bookish spotlights lined up every week. It's going to be really exciting. We got some super cool people. So I can't wait to share that with you. And then some exciting things for the season finale, and then some really exciting things to kick off season 2 of The Dream is True. That'll be epic. So right now, though, let's go through a recap of last week's live reading of Cassius Canick's chapter 31. So basically, okay, let's see. So yeah, Cassius Canick's, and then so there's the image. Basically, each week I've been doing the recap of the previous week just to get you up to speed. Stick around for the live reading. It's around 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, and we'll be reading chapter 32. So this is a little bit of a recap from chapter 31, upgrades, just from last week. So this is the image that was used in the original manuscript of Cassius Canick's. It is the back bald head stance of Cassius Canick's, and that is because he has just undergone changes and has fully merged with Orion. And if you missed all of that, you can catch it in the full book of Cassius Canick's. It's also available in audiobook, and check out my links and you can get hooked up with that. But on here, you get to listen to a little bit of it every week, so that's kind of fun. So in last week's live chapter reading, Cass assumes full control of the organization after merging with Orion. Charlie is appointed the keeper of the Germany pod prior to Cass leaving to return home to his newly finished pod in Canada. When Cass arrives home, his memories from Orion's life are still uploading to his brain. After a warm welcome from his family, Cass inspects the completion of the pod by the engineers in secret. It is identical to the Germany pod, complete with the 3 doors, the ants, Audric, the great secret keeper, and Aquarius, the time travel enabling octopus, all now residing within. My next live reading is around 8 o'clock tonight, right here on The Dream is True, chapter 32, Daycation. So stick around for that. I hope you can join me. Next up, I'm going to go through my books with you. Thanks for joining. Thank you so much, everyone on TikTok, for joining, and thank you so much for everyone on Substack. Please comment, let me know that you're here on Substack. I cannot tell on there when you're there, so it's really cool to see whenever you let me know through a comment or something. But yeah, so let's start with Cassius Canics. So basically, this is the book we've been reading from each and every week. We are reading chapter 32. That's so epic because there's 36 chapters. So like I said, we have 4 more chapters after today to complete book 1. And this is a sci-fi novel. It's a slow burn that turns into a raging fire and then teases for more. Buckle up. An ordinary man's life collapses after he is pursued by a powerful secret organization. The big question is, why him? He gradually comes to understand that he holds a mysterious dormant power within. When an unimaginable tragedy strikes his family, he defies the fundamental laws of the universe and travels through time to restore things back to normal. With cutting-edge technology, supernatural animals, and even time travel, experience a seemingly simple man's journey to destiny and greatness. So that is Cassius Canics. And stick around at 8 o'clock. We will read chapter 32 of that. Next up, my second book, which is book 2 of the Cassius Canics trilogy, is The Fishing Trip. I had some really cool, exciting things happen with the fishing trip this month and last month, actually. The audiobook sales for the fishing trip seem to be generating a lot of interest. I understand why, because it was an epic production. Basically, a cinematic experience, if you're into that, is delivered in the audiobook version of The Fishing Trip by Skylar Morgan, the amazing voice. So yeah, thanks for all the comments. Literally, I've been getting comments on my YouTube channel. I've gotten other comments and audiobooks, like 3 audiobooks have just sold in the past few weeks. So that's kind of cool. I didn't have, it's obviously proof that this show is reaching people and I'm finding some of my readers. So I'm so excited about that. So The Fishing Trip is a horror sci-fi novel. This book is a prequel to the first, and it ends where book 1 starts. Super cool character backstories will have you longing for more. Buckle up extra tight for this one. A routine fishing getaway for 5 close friends turns into a nightmare when an apocalyptic cult drags them into unspeakable evil and despair. Their only hope? A powerful time traveler racing against fate to pull them back from the brink. So yeah, thank you for all the love that you guys have been showing The Fishing Trip. I'm so excited about that. The audiobook, people have been really latching onto that. You got to check it out. It's a real cinematic experience that is I was very proud of during the production of that audiobook with the very talented Skylar Morgan. That was awesome. All right. Next up, we have book 3 of the Cassius Canics trilogy. This is a horror sci-fi novel. This book is a continuation of book 1 and ties in book 2's revelations for the finale. Will there be more to the story? Nothing can prepare you for equilibrium. Brace yourself. Cassius Canics and the organization face their greatest threat yet. Evil incarnate. An alien being named Dade is determined to rob Cassius of everything he's become. In a race against the destruction of the planet, he strives to restore balance. The fate of the world hangs on Cassius Canics finding his true power, a mysterious power called equilibrium. And this is by far, I would say, my most violent book. It doesn't look like it. It looks very innocent. But yeah, I love it when this is hiding on the shelf of a bookstore and it looks so innocent. And I'm a little fearful sometimes of someone picking it up who may not be ready for this level of intensity. So yeah, just a word of caution. Equilibrium is a little pushing the limits of like violence, and it's pretty graphic. So yes, this little innocent book is not so innocent. Next up, we have my standalone horror novel, The Muse. The Muse is an occult horror. This book is inspired by 80s slasher movies, Stephen King horror, and even American Psycho a little bit. A depressed writer turns to a life of solitude as a trucker. He calls out for help on a Ouija board in a bid for inspiration. His call for help is answered by an ancient evil that promises genius but demands murder in return. As the body count climbs, only his twin sister can stop him before the Muse claims them both. But is it already too late? Thanks for everyone who's joining over on TikTok, and thank you over on Substack. I am MK Schultz, horror sci-fi author, and this is The Dream is True, episode 32. It's live every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So thanks for joining me tonight. There's a lot more to the show, so stick around, including a live reading at around 8 o'clock. And the bookish spotlight is coming up too, so you don't want to miss that. Please like, forward, and follow if you are into this. Subscribe to me on Substack. That is, the best way to support me is through gifts on TikTok and paid subscriptions on Substack. That really helps me moving forward with the dream, and it keeps me doing this. So that is something I'm super appreciated for. Thank you all. All right, this is book number 5 that I have published. It is hard copy. It is a sci-fi alien invasion suspense thriller. And so this book is inspired by Gen X TV, 80s sci-fi, conspiracy theories, and modern AI. At a wild bush party in his teens, Ray Higgins was taken by aliens. Now in his 50s, separated and disappointed, he's assigned to mentor Tara, an AI robot. When the aliens return, Tara and Ray expose conspiracies, hidden horrors, and a lizard cult of deception in a gripping story of rediscovery and rebellion. Are you ready to question reality? So that is hard copy. And you know what? I just got a review on July 26th. So yeah, just a few days ago. From someone in the UK, I believe it was. They gave me a 5-star review. Someone named Aubrey Cleves. You can find her review on Goodreads and on Amazon UK. So that is super cool. She gave 5 stars and she wrote a very flattering review there that I'm super appreciated about. So thank you for that. And that's my books, guys. Thanks for joining, everyone. I love seeing everybody streaming in here on TikTok. Over on Substack, please say hi in the comments. That's how I know you're there, and I love hearing from you. So please do that. That would be super appreciated. Next up, because we're coming to a cool little section that has been kind of nothing has been happening for a while. Now we have some movement, and I'm excited to share this next segment with you. It's called MK Schultz's Books in Progress. For those who have joined me before, it's been a little stagnant for the past several months, but there is some action and activity that has taken place last week. So my big news is my upcoming horror novel is now moving forward in the second phase of editing and cover design. Traditional publishers are not ready for MK Schultz. This makes sense to me because my books are probably not mainstream material for the most part. My books are better suited for probably all the diehards and cult-like fans out there. So yeah, stay tuned for rapid updates on this book because it's forging ahead now like wildfire. And nothing is going to stop this book from coming out. And the wait is almost over. So I will be steamrolling ahead very quickly on this in the upcoming weeks. So watch out for a lot of announcements and news about this book coming up. My next standalone horror novel. Super excited about that. In other news, my upcoming short story collection is now complete. I've completed the first draft. It has 52,513 words in it, and it's comprised of 15 short stories. So I finished writing a horror story called The Final Word. It's about three strangers who swap stories around a campfire. But then closing out the collection, I wrote a very personal story called Blood on the Page. So yes, watch out for news on that. This is a wild short story collection that will include horror and sci-fi stories. It's dark, humorous, and at times personal. So yes, lots coming, guys. And it's way overdue. I'm so excited to be back on. I'm back. That's what I feel like saying. It's awesome. Okay, next section we're coming to now is MK Schultz's in-person book events and more. And 1 second here. One second. Okay. Sorry about that. Bit of a phone call text there that I had to take care of. All right. So MK Schultz's in-person book events and more. All right. Here it is, guys. Prescott. So my next in-person book event is back in Prescott, Ontario on August 1st, 2026 from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So far, I have sold 6 books in Prescott. Buckle up for round 2. Thank you very much, Quality Creations. Just getting a little distracted here. My apologies for that. We'll get going on here with this. So yeah, I'm excited to get back into another book event. That'll be this Saturday. So yeah, I look forward to seeing you all there. Anyone who lives in Prescott or anyone who's in the area or feels like a little road trip, let me know. All right, next up we have the book box that I'm involved with. I'll go through that again with you. So Club Thrill Roar is it's basically it's a Canadian indie horror thriller book subscription style box service. So what you do is the service connects indie authors with readers, and what happens is so the pre-order window goes until September 15th. Author sign-ups for participation were open until around July 10th, so that's now closed. It includes a lineup of indie authors, some returning, many new, with announcements highlighting the diverse horror thriller sub-genres. So check out the links in my newsletter. There's more information about that. Just check out the newsletter on my Substack account. Newsletter number 18 has links in there and everything to Club Thrill Roar's Facebook group and their Instagram. Check out that book box because you can get some really cool custom curated books from horror and sci-fi indie authors, and they're signed by the author and they're mailed to your door, and it can be a surprise curated set of books, or it can be ones you actually select. and the quantities can vary depending on your budget, and that's also super cool. And it ships, I believe, to Canada and the US. That is that. Okay, wait 1 second here. I'm just gonna, we're switching this to this. Okay. Next up. All right, let's get ready for this, guys. Are you ready for the bookish spotlight? Here it is, guys. Okay. Each week, The Dream is True features a talented creative whose work leaves a lasting mark in the bookish world. Today's bookish spotlight is Christopher Sweet. Right on. Awesome. Everybody give a loud applause to Christopher Sweet. Christopher is the author of 5 published works, including his newest sci-fi horror novel, Encore. He's worked as a freelance writer, manager, waiter, bartender, event DJ, actor, children's entertainer, truck driver, shopkeeper, call center operator, concierge, office assistant, barista, supply teacher, and most recently a campground manager. Holy crap, Christopher. That's crazy. That's a lot of stuff. So Christopher is an avid reader and a lover of cinema. He's a nature hound who isn't above crawling through the dirt to get a closer look at a particularly interesting beast, bird, or bug. He lives with his growing tribe of people and pets on a peaceful river in New Brunswick's Acadian Peninsula. So, Christopher's books. Let's get into Christopher Sweet's books now, guys. So this is called The Boy in the Canvas. And I have something really cool to share with you because I actually purchased a hard copy of this book, a soft paperback, but yeah, a physical copy. It's a different cover from the one I'm showing on Substack. But yeah, equally cool cover art. So yeah, I love the artwork of Christopher Sweet's books. So this one, it attracted my attention because we got to communicating online and we discovered we were both fans of Iron Maiden. So yeah, so he told me that there's some references to Iron Maiden in The Boy in the Canvas, and I told him there's some references to Iron Maiden in my entire Cassius Canics trilogy. So that was super cool. And so The Boy in the Canvas. Here's the summary from Goodreads. 1984, when he attempts to escape his miserable life. When he attempts to escape his miserable life backfire on him, 12-year-old Joseph Ward finds himself in a world of trouble and is banished to St. Theodore's Academy, a correctional school run by a sadistic headmaster. But Joseph has learned of a new gift, one that brings the worlds of paintings to life. Aided by his new friend, Odilon Mercier, he explores his talent in hopes it holds the key to their freedom. All right. And okay, just 1 second here. I want to switch to this one. Yeah. All right. Now we're on to Christopher's next book. Let's get into that. Who is joining us over on... Oh, thank you, Johnson Jason. Thank you. And also, thank you, Sassy. Thanks so much for joining over on TikTok. Right now, let's get up another book by Christopher Sweet. We've got next up The Orchard Room. The Orchard Room. Here's a book summary that I've taken from Goodreads. The teenagers of Maggie's knee have been vanishing without explanation. Their disappearances blamed on everything from adolescence rebellion to shadow people in the woods. Farron Murakami, an 18-year-old who has suffered more than most, finds out firsthand where the youth have gone when she's recruited to join a tribe of teens living in an abandoned camp hidden deep in the woods. It isn't long before she learns there is more to the story than just runaway kids. A sinister presence dwelling in the forbidden buildings tucked far back in the camp seems to have handpicked her for its purpose. In her search for answers, Farron discovers her involvement with the tribe goes further back than she can imagine, and that whatever lives in the forbidden buildings wants much more than the fealty of some kids playing in the forest. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's another book by Christopher, and let's check out another one. Another book called Encore. This is, okay, so the members of Super Concentrate, the once mighty rock band from Detroit, are scattered following a humiliating on-stage breakup. Singer-guitarist Neptune Swindle is selling real estate. Drummer Leif Halverson has gone back to welding. Bassist Caleb Teller is filming his movie in Toronto, and keyboardist Elisa Cole teaches music. Only former frontman Jake Dervish still holds on to the memory of his glory days, earning a living by playing bar gigs around Detroit and otherwise drinking his days away. A second chance at taking the stage is presented to Jake when a peculiar man tasks him with bringing the band back together for one last show. All right, we got A.L. McDonald. Thanks for joining over on Substack. Woohoo! Everyone over on TikTok, thank you for joining as well. We're halfway through the bookish spotlight with Christopher Sweet. Something is off about the guy who hires them, though, and it seems to coincide with Jake's sudden visions of a strange world, one that seems to want him to visit. All right, thanks for all the likes. A.L. McDonald. Woo! And everyone over on TikTok too. Thanks for all the gifts. I super appreciate it. So yeah, Christopher Sweet. Follow Christopher on Substack. He's there. So yeah, super cool. Also, you can follow him on Facebook and Instagram. And I put those 3 links all on my Substack newsletter. You can just click on them there. But yes, I loved to learn that Christopher is on Substack, and I look forward to checking out more of his work. I met Christopher online when I learned that he is a fellow Iron Maiden fan. We bought each other's books, both of which contain Maiden references, and I showed it before, but I'm going to show it again. I'm actually going to show you, he's got an alternate cover for the book, The Boy in the Canvas. So that's the one I bought, The Boy in the Canvas. And he actually bought The Muse for me as a nice gesture. So that was really nice of him. And so I am behind on my reading and still haven't gotten to read my copy of The Boy in the Canvas. I love the look and the feel of the edition I purchased. There's a new edition with a revised cover artwork that also looks super cool. I am glad I connected with Christopher, and I am looking forward to reading his work. It is interesting for me to learn that Chris once worked as a truck driver, just like my character Kalen from The Muse. Minus the murders, I hope, Chris. Also, currently there are some free short stories on Christopher's Substack, so check those out. And there's a new serialized novel being unleashed in the coming weeks. So yeah, the best place to check out Christopher is by heading over to his Substack. And likewise for me, that's check it out and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And that is the Bookish Spotlight. Thanks again to Christopher Sweet for agreeing to participate. Next up, we have movies, TV, music, and books. Movies, TV, music, and books are a massive influence on my writing. Each week, I share with you what I watched, listened to, or read. Here's last week's consumption. So movie one, I've been looking forward to this movie for a while now. I got to see Masters of the Universe. And it's basically, starring Nicholas Galitzine, Camila Mendes, and Idris Elba, who plays, he's in Thor, actually. He's the keeper. What's his name in Thor? I forget, but he's really cool in this. He plays Man-at-Arms, and it was wicked. Gets 6.6 out of 10 on IMDb. Prince Adam discovers that the strange memories shaping his life are real when the lost sword of power resurfaces, forcing him to return to Eternia and challenge the tyrant who shattered his family and kingdom. So here's my take on Masters of the Universe. I was a massive fan of He-Man the cartoon when I was a child. This movie was at times so nostalgic for me to see. It didn't check all of the boxes, but I still enjoyed it to a sufficient degree. The actor who played He-Man wasn't perfect, but he did okay. I thought they should have chosen an actor who was bigger, with even more of a bodybuilder physique than what this actor actually had. They used this in the plot and explained him to be somewhat an unlikely hero due to his smaller size, particularly when he was a child. So no, he was still completely like a bodybuilder type, but just not as big as not like an Arnold Schwarzenegger or a Dolph Lundgren. Cringer, aka Battle Cat, was good, but did not have nearly enough screen time to satisfy my needs. Heimdall, yes, that's who he played. Heimdall in Thor. He's awesome in that, and I really like him as Man-at-Arms in this. So and here we are on talking about Man-at-Arms. I loved Man-at-Arms, but I didn't care for the decline in his character after his defeat by Skeletor. So I preferred to see him as, the powerful Man-at-Arms, but then he goes downhill because he gets defeated by Skeletor. Spoiler alert a little bit, but yeah, that's not my favorite part of the movie. I just wanted to see him at his best. That's what I liked the most. Skeletor was also just okay for me. His look was perfect, but his voice just didn't do it for me in comparison to my memories of the old cartoon. I loved the cameo by Dolph Lundgren, and also the humor was a fun part of the movie for me. It was also super satisfying to see Orko at the end of the movie in a little cameo, so that was fun for me. If you've ever watched the He-Man cartoon, you'll know what I'm talking about. So that's Masters of the Universe. Another movie I watched last week was Speak No Evil, starring James McAvoy, Mackenzie Davis, and Scoot McNairy. Okay, so this gets a 6.8 out of 10 on IMDb. A family is invited to spend a whole weekend in a lonely home in the countryside. But as the weekend progresses, they realize that a dark side lies within the family who invited them. My take, this is a decent film. There were times that the cinematography seemed substandard to me, but it was probably intentionally done. The performance by James McAvoy was second to none. He is such a well-rounded actor who is capable of so much, and you'll know him from the superhero movies like I think he plays Professor Xavier in the newer X-Men kind of movies, and I think he had a cool horror movie called Split that I enjoyed him in. But yeah, he's a strong actor. He did an amazing performance. But the movie does a great job with suspense as you wait for quite a good chunk of it before getting what you know all along is coming. I recommend this movie if you enjoy a good psychological thriller with a little horror. So that is... Okay, so that is Speak No Evil. All right, what are we up to next? Okay, next in the music section. I've always been inspired and motivated by heavy metal and rock music. My favorite band is Iron Maiden. When I first started writing my writing journey, Iron Maiden was always playing in the background, and it still is. I have always found the lyrics and sound of Maiden to be thought-provoking and inspirational. The Run to Your Lives world tour. I mean, I'm just going to quickly show, I'm tempted to go see this whenever they're coming to Montreal. And I'm seeing all the imagery from the concerts like this one. It's so crazy, like the Eddie backdrop video image that moves around and looks remarkably real is a really cool touch to the concerts. So that is, I'll leave you with that. I included some quotes on my newsletter section. I read those last week on this show, so I'll probably leave them there. As far as books go, I'm in between reads right now. I'm trying to find my next read, so I didn't have a lot of time last week for reading anyway, so that kind of worked out. Where are we at? All right, everyone. I am MK Schultz, horror sci-fi author, and you're watching The Dream Is True. Every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, join me for a talk and me sharing all about my writing journey with you, as well as a bookish spotlight and a live reading coming up, usually near the 8 o'clock hour, but I think we're on track for that today, so looking forward to that as well. So if you check out my newsletter, you can see my book sales and other baby step mini goal achievements. I'm posting them there to try to keep track of where I'm at with things. Like I always show this, the world map shows I've sold books in 8 different countries now, and it's really cool for me to look at this map and to look at the red dots to know that those 8 countries, people in those 8 countries have purchased my books, and my books are sitting on somebody's table in the UK and in India and in France and Germany and Italy and Australia. That's super cool for me to actually know. So thank you for that. Next up, where are we now on this? Oh yeah, very cool. Okay, we've come to the writer's tip, which this week I've decided basically to showcase basically my last Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and part of Sunday. So let's see. Last week, I left for my daughter's house in the city immediately after my live show on Thursday night. So last Thursday night, right after this show, I had everything else all packed in my vehicle and everything, and then I boxed up my laptop and my mouse and my wireless keyboard, and I left for the city. I stayed until Sunday morning. So this was an interesting trip that I'm really excited to share with you. So the purpose of the visit was initially to dog sit her German Shepherd, Rambo. So there's Rambo. And I used this opportunity and rebranded the visit as a writer's retreat. So I had been pumping myself up about this for days prior, that I was going to use this to my advantage as a writer's retreat. Just me and Rambo for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and part of Sunday. So what did I do when I got there? I set up my workstation on her kitchen counter, and then I played with Rambo and fed him and spent some time with him, and then just got to work. I got so much work done, guys. I'm going to share what happened with you as well coming up. So for inspiration during the day, let's see here. We'll pop up the next picture here. So for inspiration during the daytime, I explored the city. And she lives in a really cool area of Ottawa that was a lot of fun for me to walk and just explore. I went here at the Wellington Diner for breakfast one day. Got a picture of that in the food section. That's awesome. I went for a walk to this market that was nearby, and that was fun. And then just seeing the architecture, I loved. That's a cool church, nice and picturesque. There's a record store right at the end of her street that I enjoyed seeing. Tennessee Williams, the wood oven pizza joint, is cool. And that's it. So I walked all over and did so much. And then at the market, there was this. So this girl was set up at the market, and she works at Escape Manor, and she had me do one of the puzzles from Escape Manor, and it was super fun. She basically had a combination lock with three numbers to the combination, and I just had to read these clues to find how to open the lock. And I did it first try, and I was super excited and pumped about that. So I want to check out this Escape Manor, which is really like a fun kind of adventure. So it's in that area, so check that out. All right, next up, so here we go. So this is my rejection photo, is what I call it. So what happened, so during this writer's retreat, I learned of my next book's rejection from the traditional publisher that I had submitted to. So what did I do? I celebrated, because guess what? There's so many different cool things that happened that it just basically erased all of that. So right after this happened, I met a black and white photographer named Tom and exchanged contact info with him to arrange for my next author bio photo shoot. Then I reconnected with my cover designer to get that back on track. And I also found a new editor and scheduled that as well. In addition to this, I worked on this newsletter, and I also finished writing my short story collection. To celebrate the successes I experienced in spite of the rejection, I went to a pub to have a pint. So you know what? I'm super happy. Don't be sad for me, because I know I've been really excited and waiting for that for so long. But hey, I'm so pumped now, because guess what? My new horror novel is coming fast, guys. Oh yeah, everything's in order. My editor is actually starting. I've already gotten developmental editing completed by someone else prior to this, but now my line and copy and proofreading editor is starting on August 4th. And I have my cover designer who's literally, we're almost done because we already worked on this in the past together. So this is all getting back on track really quickly. So get ready, guys. Buckle up for a new one coming soon. So so what else? Let's see. I had some amazing cheat night foods on this retreat, as well as having some time to take in a couple of movies. So we just went through the movie section, but we're coming to the food section, so I'll talk about it more then. I played with Rambo, the German Shepherd, outside periodically and inside. I also couldn't pass up the opportunity to take a photo with the Evil Dead floor hatch that she has in her house, or that's what I call it. And so I could not pass up that chance of doing that. So yeah, I have a lot of fun with Evil Dead and Bruce Campbell kind of stuff. So that's another thing people know about me. On one of my walks, I stopped in. So this is something else cool that happened on this writer's retreat in the city. So on one of my walks, I stopped in at the local bookstore, The Spaniel's Tale, which I didn't realize is walking distance from my daughter's house. And I was thrilled to see one of my books there in the wild. I got to meet the manager, Aaliyah, to make arrangements to replenish books 1 and 2 of my trilogy, which had sold out. What a cool experience. So there's the Spaniel's Tale bookstore. And then here's me looking in the bookstore, and those bottom 2 shelves, they just have a very small science fiction section. It's just those bottom 2 shelves in that image. And my book it just jumped out at my face. It's in the bottom row there. And I'll show you that. There's me pulling that book out, and they got like a red Canadian author sticker on it, which is super fun and cool for me. And to learn that books 1 and 2 were there as well, but have already sold out. Hey man, I made a deal, and I said, well, we got to replenish the trilogy. And so the manager said, for sure. So I can't wait to get the trilogy reunited again at the Spaniel's Tale. So yeah, check it out. Right on. So okay, that was a very cool experience. So my writer's retreat was a smashing success, with the positives far outweighing the negative. I found the atmosphere of getting away on a little mini vacation to be so inspiring to my writing, and I highly recommend taking a writer's retreat, and I look forward to my next one. So yeah, this is why I chose this section to be the writer's tip of the week, because yeah, I think that's a great writer's tip. Go on a writer's retreat. I can't wait to do more, because yeah, it really opens up your mind to the writer side of your brain. It's super cool. It's just very fertile environment to be in. Let's see, what are we on to next? Next up, guys, we have the writer's quirk. All right. So for the writer's quirk, I got something really fun. Let's see. Just going to take a drink of water here first. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Helen, for joining on TikTok. We've got some people over on TikTok. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate all of the gifts that I've been getting over on TikTok. That's really keeping me going over there. Thank you so much for that. It shows me that you care about what I'm doing, and you're enjoying being a part of my writing journey. So thank you so much for that again. And over on Substack, thank you so much for, it's such a great platform and has been opening up so many opportunities for me with the power of Substack. My book sales I've noticed a climb now since I've started the Substack process of getting my podcast and with the videos posted everywhere. I've been getting comments on my YouTube channel people asking questions about the fishing trip. And then now I've sold 3 audiobooks of the fishing trip in the past few weeks. That hasn't been happening before. So this is, I know it's because of this. This show is kind of like the fruit pyramid for me. Let's just bring up the fruit pyramid again. This show is kind of like the fruit pyramid because in a way I am calling out to the universe for help to try to find readers who will enjoy my work and support me. So it's sort of epic when it starts to happen and has been starting to happen. So it's like, yeah, the fruit pyramid is powerful, Believe me, it's very powerful. Okay, next up, the writer's quirk. Okay, this is fun, guys. So check it out. Check it out. Behold my fire poker. There's a funny story behind it. Before I discovered my writing, I was searching for some unknown purpose that I knew was out there for me. Wielding the fruit pyramid eventually brought me to my writing. But before that, this experience was one of the many that I used to try to find my true purpose. So one day I got a sudden urge to take a one-day class in blacksmithing. And so I signed up. The class was run from the shop of the blacksmith who owned and operated it in Wakefield, Quebec. When I arrived at the class one Saturday morning, I discovered that there were 3 other students who had also signed up. The class assignment was to make a fire poker. I enjoyed the process and learned a lot. I enjoyed getting the metal red hot and then pounding and shaping it. After the class was complete, I realized that blacksmithing was not the it that I was searching for, but it still taught me something and became a part of my journey. Whenever I see this poker, it serves as a cool reminder to me of a time just prior to the commencement of my writing journey. That was thanks A.L. McDonald. Your comment isn't that delayed. I just saw it now, that's all. There's only a 6 or 7 second delay from when you type your comment to when I'll see it. So thanks for that. Yeah. The fire poker, the blacksmith thing was really cool. A.L. McDonald, I was working with you at that time when I ventured on that journey, trying to find things. That's what I was at that stage. You knew me well then, and here we are now, right? So, okay. Next up, I'm running a little bit behind, but we'll get back on track because this, I'm just going to go over the food and health section. So as a writer, it is important to keep my brain and body healthy so that I can continue to churn out horrific scenes of violence and thought-provoking and chilling sci-fi. Side projects around the house and also connecting with nature provide good mental health outlets for meditating, brainstorming, and thinking about stories. The deer from last week's newsletter that I shared, where I was staring face to face with this deer, actually gave birth in the woods behind my house just the other day. The deer seem to like my property for birthing, as I have witnessed this like 4 or 5 times now over the years. And actually today, just before I came down on here to do the live show, I actually saw the mother and the new baby deer running across my yard. So super cool. I did not get a picture. My goal in 2026 is to care for my mental and physical health. And so for my fitness update, here we go. Yeah, something to share with you. So far I've lost 40 pounds thanks to calorie deficit counting with my Fitbit and also cardio, strength, and flexibility training. It's hard to believe that I was carrying this extra weight around with me. Yeah, that's 40 pounds. There's a 25 pounder, a 10 pounder, and a 5 pounder dumbbell. That all adds up to 40 pounds. That's what I was carrying around before, extra weight that I do not need to have. So really feeling amazing health-wise, super invigorated, and I love sharing it with you. It's part of the writing journey. It's connected. It's all connected, guys. Everything is. Here's my low-calorie meals from last week. All right. My low-calorie meals last week. So the one meal there is, the meal on the left is a spiced chicken breast with Greek yogurt and cottage cheese. And the meal on the right is a ground turkey salad bowl. And these meals are always low cal because they got to fit into my calorie deficit, which is calculated by my Fitbit. And then on cheat meals, I take a break, and that happens on usually Fridays and Saturdays. So 2 days a week I allow myself cheat meals. Here's my cheat meals. Oh God, guys, because I was on my writer's retreat. So I had a full breakfast called the Quebecer. I had a spicy Nashville chicken sandwich with messy fries. I had an epic pizza and a next level sub. And there may have been the odd beer consumed as well, all at my writer's retreat. Oh yeah, super awesome. Okay, guys. Next up, we reached it. It's 8:01, and we're almost right on time. We're coming to the part of the program where I do the live reading. So let's set the mood, guys. Let's shut the music down, and I'm going to shut the lights off. All right, guys. Like I said before, we're coming, after this show, there's only 4 more shows in this season because we're going to be finishing this book in 4 shows more after this. I've got quite the amazing lineup for you of guests over the next 4 weeks, so I can't wait for you guys to see that. Not guests, but just bookish spotlights. Maybe in season 2 we'll get to the guests upgrade. But for now, let's begin. Live reading of Cassius Canics. This time I'm not going to forget to put up the stuff. So I've got this live reading banner as well as the book. And let's begin. Okay, let's settle in, guys. Ooh, I got my book light is too bright. I'll try to hold it down. Let's reposition. Chapter 32, Daycation. Experiencing feelings of contentment, happiness, and love for his family, it felt good to be home. He looked forward to continuing as normal a life as he could, given the circumstances. It would begin today, he thought. Normalcy. That abstract, intangible place he craved and would have once again. It would begin today. Up before anyone else, he crept downstairs to the kitchen, where he would begin the preparation of a top-notch breakfast. As he entered the kitchen, he was welcomed by the gurgling sound the coffee machine makes as it finishes the brew process, which he programmed the night before, as he always had. And that's something I do. I don't make coffee in the morning. I make it the night before because it's a thrilling thing for me to actually just have it ready and done first thing in the morning when you wake up. It's super fun. Something I've always done. The aroma of rich, strong coffee filled the air. Pouring a cup, he started by getting all ingredients out to take stock of what he had to work with. Eggs, hash browns, beans, sausage, cheese, milk. Yes, that would be good. That would be a good start, he thought. Before long, there were 4 pans simmering on the stove and a skillet on the countertop. The main pan contained a slow-cooking omelet with cheese and veggies. He chuckled to himself at the sight of the omelette, as 1/4 of it was void of any onions. That was Lance's. The beans slowly simmered in the next pot. A slow stir was quite satisfying. Bubbling in the third pan was butter-laced hash browns. A sprinkle of pepper and salt would be all they would need. The fourth pan was filled with sausages, while French toast sizzled on the skillet. With temperatures of each dish at a low, stabilized level, the plates now made their way out onto the kitchen island countertop. 3 neatly arranged bar stools waited eagerly for the bottoms of the cannexes, while he would remain standing to serve and take it all in. That's an interesting thing for me to read all these years later, because we got a kitchen renovation done like a few years after this was written, and I just realized, like, when I read this, like I was like foreseeing the future kitchen that I didn't even have yet when I wrote this, because there's only room for 3 stools because our kitchen's quite small. So that is where the 3 members of my family would be able to sit, and then I would be able to stand and cook them breakfast and serve them. And we have that exact setup now in our kitchen, which was renovated. So that was kind of interesting for me to come across that when I did the pre-read earlier today. Back into it. The plates were accompanied by neatly folded napkins and utensils, each perfectly arranged with a symmetry that gave him chills. The orange juice and milk were easily accessible, along with coffee for those who wanted it. Ketchup, mustard, hot sauce, and maple syrup joined the pepper and salt to complete the condiments arrangement. With all ready now, and the dogs fed and taken out for their morning business, he heard evidence of life by way of creaking floors, shutting bathroom doors, and working plumbing. Slowly, cannexes began emerging. "What do I smell?" said Melina. "Oh, Cass, I still need some time to adjust to your new look. It's growing on me, though." "Yeah, Daddy, you look like a different person," piped Lydia. "You made breakfast? Oh, Cass, you missed us, didn't you? You are so sweet." "Have a seat and I will serve you all. I may look different, but it's me, your good old Cass daddy. Is there sausage?" "Yes, Lance, don't worry, buddy. I made an anti-veggie omelet for you too." "Thanks." Dishing up full plates for all, he couldn't wait to tell them the plans he had for them. "Guess what we are doing after breakfast?" "What?" "Going for a boat ride. I need your help to pick one out to rent for the day at the marina. Then we can take it out on the water for a nice long cruise. It is supposed to be a beautiful day today." "What, Cass? No, we can't afford to do that." "Oh, yes, we can, Melina. You see, with the training I received, a gift. Rock's business is booming, and the reward this time is a free boat rental of our choice, fully paid for by the organization. I was so excited to tell you all, and now that I have, let's eat and get ready to go out. Sound good?" "Wow, that's amazing, honey." "Yeah, Dad, I can't wait." "Do you think we can go tubing on it?" "Oh, yeah, for sure, Lance. And we can fish, too." "I can't wait to lay on the boat and suntan." "Yeah, we will have to see what they have in the range of options. I am sure that can be arranged, Lydia." "This is amazing, Cass. Your new job really has its perks. I can't believe how successful Rock's business is. He is amazing, and so are you to be a part of it. I am happy for you and our family." "Me too, hun. Me too." The Cannexes ate, laughed, poked fun at Cass's bald head, and got caught up on some much-needed bonding time. With breakfast complete, everyone got ready for the outing to the marina. By the time they left the house, it was only 9 a.m. So there was still plenty of day left. Piling into the car, they began the trip to the marina. It was a large marina with access to a lot of water area. Upon arrival, the Cannixes began to walk towards the display yard where they were met by a salesman. After some short dialogue, they began a guided tour of a few boats that met the criteria set out by the Cannixes. It did not take long for all to agree on the Sea Race 370 venture. With a spacious cabin area containing a fully functioning kitchen and sleeping quarters along with a large deck area, it was a favorite by all. He convinced Melina to leave him meet alone with the salesman to pay for the rental, since the cost would be covered by the organization. "Well, Mr. Cannix, you have made an excellent selection," said the salesman. "The 370 Venture is a fine vessel, and we have a special promotion on right now that includes lunch and dinner, both of which are delivered to you via a speedboat. Just stop the boat anywhere within eyeshot of the marina at 1 p.m. and 6 p.m., and we will find you." "Yes, that sounds excellent. What is on the menu?" "Lunch consists of a large selection of fruits with mile-high burgers and our chef's famous fries, deep-fried in lard. Supper is surf and turf, served on a bed of rice with an array of vegetables." "That is perfect. What is the cost?" "Would you like to spend the night on the boat as well?" "Yes, that would be perfect." "Okay, so let's see. Overnight, stocked bar and kitchen, complete with breakfast, unlimited gas and boat rental, lunch and dinner delivery. That works out to $7,642.36. Done." "Very well, sir. And how would you like to pay?" He didn't respond to the man with words. Instead, he just took 4 stacks of money out from his inside jacket pocket and placed them methodically one by one on the table. My business deals with a lot of cash transactions. Here's $8K. Just keep the change to cover the tips for the food deliveries." "Very well, sir, but of course. Now, if you and your family would like to make your way to the boat, I will see you off. There is still much of the day left, and it is absolutely gorgeous one for you and your family. I am sure it will provide wonderful memories for you all." He couldn't recall ever feeling more excited and happy in his entire life, even drawing from both memory banks. It was so perfect. "I did it," he thought. "I fucking did it. And no son of a bitch is ever gonna dampen this." "And just what is this?" he pondered. "This is a production of enabling simplicity to thrive, with Cassius Cannix at the helm. The thoughts and memories and dreams are all just pieces of a puzzle to be arranged how one wishes to, each of which form together to weave an ideology that one seeks to perfect and make tangible. So often that tangibility is never realized, but when it is, explosions of joy are brought forth to make one feel that life is not only worth living, but must be at all cost." And here we are, Cannixes. Welcome on board the Orion. His spine tingled and blood rushed to his head. How did he not see the name scripted on the stern of the boat when they first looked at it? The coincidence was something he would keep to himself among all the other legions of secrets he now kept. He chuckled to himself as he read the words scripted on the stern. Huh, Orion. What are the odds of that? The marina attendant handed a captain's hat to Cass. Placing it on his bald head, he looked at his family and bellowed as he air punched his bent arm with a fist clenched. All aboard! Which was immediately followed by chastisements of "Oh dad," "Oh boy," and "Oh brother" by the 3 other Cannixes. After a short tour of the boat, it was time to launch. The boat slowly proceeded out to the marina docks to open water. The sun beat down from the cloudless blue sky with a small westerly breeze forcing the hair of Lydia and Melina to slowly flutter. Lance figured out the stereo system and began playing music from his phone. As agreed earlier, the selection of music would alternate from style to style so that there would be something for everyone. Lydia was already lying on a beach towel, and Melina was sprawled out on the deck reading a book. Lance was looking at the fishing supplies to have a go at it. As Cass looked around and soaked it all in, he felt a tangible feeling of joy, like fireworks exploding in what was his nirvana. All right, so that is chapter 32. We are coming to the final strokes, guys. Okay, so let me get the lights back on and the music for the final part of the show. 1 second. All right, and that is the live reading. Next up. All right, next up. Let's see here. All right, we're heading to the final strokes of the show. So I've got a new thing at the end. I'll put up a timer, but before I do that, let's see. We are basically at the end. I'll just go through, like, as an indie author, it is my dream to write full time. Currently, I am living this dream. In order to sustain this dream, I depend on your support. Here are some great ways to support my writing journey so that I can continue to publish more books. Buy my ebooks, softcover books, and audiobooks online or at live in-person events. Post book reviews on Goodreads and Amazon. Support me on Ko-fi by buying me a coffee or tipping me. All these links are in my bio too, by the way, guys. Support me on Substack through a paid subscription. Click the subscription button below. Continue to support me on my TikTok lives with gifts. I really appreciate all the gifts I've gotten so far. Support me on my social media by liking, commenting, and sharing. I am most active on Instagram, TikTok, Substack, and X. And please subscribe to the podcast version of The Dream is True, where you listen to podcasts. Because, like I said, super cool. The podcasts, I've been getting comments. I do nothing for marketing on these podcasts. I don't know how. I'm getting followers and I'm getting people listening to the podcasts, and I'm getting people asking me questions. The video that gets posted on YouTube, I've gotten questions posed, and I've seen some book sales that must be resulting from this extra exposure. I don't know. So thank you so much for all of that. Let's see. Thank you over on TikTok. I'm just checking out. I don't think I missed any comments. And right on. So like I said, my next book is coming quicker now. I am charging right ahead with it. And I've also finished writing my short story collection. So that one is going to be also I'm going to be very busy. We got 4 more shows to do on what I would call season 1 of the show, because after 4 more shows we will have completed reading Cassius Canics. So what I'm thinking, and the guests, I'm looking over at my board right now. I've got some really exciting guests lined up for the last 4 shows, and then the season finale is going to be epic, and I'm hoping to plan some other cool and fun things to do for the season finale. And then after that, I got to think seriously about season 2 and what kind of changes I might want to make to the show to make it better and even stronger. And let's see where we can take this together. Thank you for joining me on my writing journey. I am MK Schultz, horror sci-fi author, and this is The Dream is True. Every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time till around 8:15. We're running a little bit late this afternoon or this evening, but that's fine. We're almost closing out. So without further ado, I'm going to put up on Substack, I have a timer that is now beginning. 3 minutes, guys. Any final questions or comments? I'm going to hang around for 3 minutes, and if we don't have anything, that's fine, and then we will say goodbye until next week. So yeah, here we go. We're on the timer countdown now. You can't see it on TikTok, but got about 2 minutes and 34 seconds left. So ask away, comment away, say hi, or give me some likes, anything. Yeah, I'm looking for anything, guys. So what do we got? We got 2 minutes and 17 seconds left of this episode 32 of The Dream is True. I hope, I should have had, I forgot to get the music back on. I'll put it on for the last minute. So what do you think, guys? What did you think? Do you like parts of the show better than other parts? Is there some parts that you really like? Is there any comments, questions you have? My books, like I said, they're all available on Amazon, and if you check my bio, there's my Linktree link in there, and everything, absolutely everything MK will show up in there that you can click on. But just let me know. We got about 1 minute and 26 seconds left before my timer runs out, and I will say goodbye. But in the meantime, if you have any questions, comments, let me know. I love hearing from you all. I do get a lot of comments and questions outside of the show, so thank you for that. I really enjoy connecting and answering questions about my journey. It's a hell of a journey that I'm on, and I'm so pumped to share it with so many people, because there's so many people now know about The Dream is True, and that is really exciting for me. I think having the bookish spotlight every week is really fun, a fun way for me to connect with all the other authors out there. So I really appreciate that, and I look forward to taking that to a new level in season 2. But for now, guys, we're heading down to the last 20 seconds. So 20 seconds to go. If there's nothing else, I'll be saying goodbye to you all. And this is The Dream is True. I am MK Schultz, horror sci-fi author, and we are signing off from this week's episode 32 of The Dream is True. So thank you so much, and basically in closing, one more peek. Okay, yeah. All right. In closing, I now recite the phrase that I first heard on the song Dream of Mirrors by Iron Maiden. It is a phrase that inspires me, and I want to share it with all of you. If you have a dream, don't say, I hope my dream comes true one day. Instead, say this out loud every single day. The dream is true. All right, thanks, guys. See you next week.